What is up, guys? Matt here. So this video is going to be a discussion about E3 this year. So I've watched most of the conferences. The only ones I didn't watch was like the PC one and the EA one, I think. So this video is going to be sort of like an unpopular opinions about E3 2019, because I believe that I do share quite a lot of opinions that people are really not going to agree with. So anyway, we should probably just get straight into it. So I'm not going to do them. There's no specific order, and I might jump between conferences at times as they come to my head. Although I've got most of them in my head already. So number one, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Literally nobody's criticising this on YouTube. I can't. There's like about one or two videos about people complaining about it, and I don't know why. Everyone seems to be completely blind to what the game is going to be like. What do I mean by that? So for starters, pretty much from the very moment they announced it, they were saying how it's going to be in parts. Right, okay. We don't even know how many parts yet. It's obviously either going to be 2 or 3. But we know now for a fact we're definitely not getting all the parts. We're not getting the whole game on one disc, or not on one disc, but we're not getting the whole game at once. That's a problem. That's a problem because part 1's not coming out till next year on the PS4. Obviously, the second part is not going to be coming out on the PS4 unless they're already nearly done with it. And in that case, why couldn't they have it all as one part, as one game? So we've got a situation here. This isn't necessarily a problem, but it is in this circumstance. Part 1's going to be on the PS4. Part 2 is going to be on the PS5. So you're not even getting the whole Final Fantasy VII Remake on the same console generation. So that's one issue. The other issue is the gameplay. Now, a lot of people are perfectly happy with the whole real-time. I don't like it. I don't care what you say. You can argue with me all you want. You can harass me all you want, saying about how turn-based is old-fashioned. I don't care. Final Fantasy VII's turn-based game, and they've changed it to Final Fantasy 15 gameplay, which they haven't changed it to that. That was their intention all along with the remake. I don't think they were ever going to do it as turn-based, which is very disappointing. Final Fantasy VII Remake is not for new fans, okay? It's not meant to be for new fans. They say it is. They say it's for new people to experience the Final Fantasy VII story. Final Fantasy VII Remake is for people that played Final Fantasy VII back in the day, in the 90s. And guess what? Those fans are fans of turn-based because they grew up playing turn-based Final Fantasy. So why they want to change the gameplay? Why they thought it was a good? No, they thought it was a good idea because they're going to get more people to buy it. They don't care about the legacy of Final Fantasy VII. They just want to sell. They just want it to be more successful. So they thought, okay, we'll make it a bit easier on ourselves. We'll use the Final Fantasy 15 gameplay because we've already pretty much designed that. Let's not bother with turn-based. I mean, and the worst thing is they've sort of tried to appease people that like turn-based. They put in some sort of tactical mode in the game where you literally freeze time. That's not turn-based though. That's just freezing time. You can't do all the attacks while the game is frozen. So that was pointless to add. I just don't get it. Like, people really saying, oh, Final Fantasy VII Remake is not going to be the best game ever. It's not even going to be the best Final Fantasy ever. It's not even going to be the best remake ever. It might be really big. The game might be massive. It might be really long. I don't see how it can be. And the first part's taking place in only Midgar, which was initially about a 4 hours in the original game, and it wasn't even the entire first disc. So why this is 2 discs, 2 whole Blu-ray discs, I don't know how that's. We'll have to see. I'm very skeptical on that. I don't know how they're going to stretch out, and they might start retconning things in the story as well, which will be quite interesting. But yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake, I'm not really that excited for it, and I think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be as good as everyone thinks it is. So, that's down to them. One positive I will say, although this is a sort of unpopular opinion about E3, is the Final Fantasy VIII remaster. Thank God they actually decided to do that. So that's one positive. Right, so that's out of the way. Final Fantasy VII's out of the way. Let's move on over to just in general things. This isn't really an unpopular opinion, but Ubisoft every single year seem to do dance routines and music and all that shit. Nobody wants that. Nobody does. It's cringe. It's just straight up cringe. It's a waste of time. It's just padding out the conference, and it's just shit. Okay. Right, let's move on to Bethesda. So I thought Bethesda had probably the worst conference. No, okay, it did have the worst conference. It consisted of mobile games and just not very good. It was literally majority mobile with some DLCs and the odd announcement of a new game. Like a game called Ghostwire was announced, which looks somewhat interesting. It's by the guy that made the original Resident Evil, Shinji Mikami, isn't it? That looks somewhat interesting, but apart from that, the Bethesda conference was literally a complete waste of time. They were talking about how much improved Fallout 76 is now. No. Okay, yeah, I'm sure it is improved now, but okay, you polish a turd, it's still a turd. So that wasn't any good. They were talking about another expansion for Elder Scrolls Online. Okay, they were talking about the card game they brought out, an update for it. They were talking about all the mobile games, as I said, Blades. It's just okay, it's a mobile game, no one really cares that much. They were talking about the new Doom, the new Wolfenstein, some shitty Battle Royale game again. That's okay, let's get on to that. Can we please stop with Battle Royale game modes and 4v4 hero games, multiplayer games? Can we please stop those? Because there's too many now. They weren't even that good to begin with. Can we just stop them? Fallout 76 is getting a battle royale mode. Obviously, Call of Duty has a battle royale mode. All the other battle royale games, and then we got there's another 4v4 hero shooter game called, is it Bleeding Edge or something like that? Like Overwatch and what's the other really shit one? Battleborn and stuff like that. We don't need all these. Okay? They're completely unnecessary. No one wants them. Well, okay, people do want them, but they've already got better ones to play. So what's the point in having another one? There's no point. Waste of time. Waste of your time. So that's another couple of things. Do I want to start talking about Nintendo? Well, yeah, I've got to. Is there anything I've got to write about on Xbox? We'll come to that. So let's go to Nintendo. Super Smash Bros. Characters reveals for DLC. 2 were revealed. Okay, one of them was a good reveal. The other one I wasn't particularly happy with. Okay, so the second character to get revealed was Banjo-Kazooie. That good character to get. especially since they're owned by Microsoft now. Well, technically, Rare. I think Rare owns them, but obviously Microsoft owns Rare, so technically they own it. Good character to get in the game. Another third-party character. Well, I think they're all going to be third-party, but you know, from a competitor, you've got a competitor's character in there. I know, obviously, Banjo-Kazooie's Origins is on the Nintendo 64, but it was amazing to see that it managed to work it out and get him in the game. So well done on that one. Banjo-Kazooie was definitely one of the most heavily requested characters still, so you've got him. Well done. Let's talk about the first one. So the first character was generic Dragon Quest hero. Right, I've got nothing against the Dragon Quest games. They're good RPGs. But it's the fact that Dragon Quest is a Square Enix IP, much like Final Fantasy is, and maybe half ownership of Kingdom Hearts. Now this is the problem, right? He's got in. That's a Square Enix rep in the DLC out of the 5 characters. That means we're not getting Sora or Gino in the game. And that's not acceptable. Dragon Quest Hero versus Sora, the main character from arguably your second biggest franchise now. Okay? Or even Gino. I would say Gino is now the most requested character apart from Isaac. Easy pick, and he has roots to and he has his origins set on a Nintendo console again, and he's only appeared in a Mario game, and Mario, although I hate to admit it, is Nintendo's biggest character. And neither of them are going to be playable. In fact, Sora probably isn't even going to get any sort of acknowledgement in the game. The Kingdom Hearts series aren't going to get any acknowledgement in the game. Gino's at least a spirit. But Sora and Kingdom Hearts, nah, they're not even going to get mentioned. That's the thing. That's what annoys me. I don't care about the Dragon Quest heroes. The fact that I know because he's gotten in, we're not getting Sora or Gino. There's no way they're going to have 2 Square Enix reps out in, take 2 reps of 5 characters in the DLC. They are saving those slots for hopefully people a lot more exciting than the Dragon Quest hero. I hope they're on the same excitement as Joker and Banjo-Kazooie, but after the Dragon Quest hero, I'm not too sure. I was hoping all 5 characters were going to be A++ characters, and we've got one letdown character now. Hopefully the other 2 are going to redeem it somewhat. So on to more Nintendo stuff that I'm not too this unpopular opinion, because maybe the Dragon Quest hero thing is unpopular. Well, actually no, it's unpopular in Japan. Most of us in the West probably agree that it's a shit pick. This torn on, but I'm not really. I do feel quite strongly about this. Right at the end of the Nintendo conference, they sort of announced and showed a little bit that they're working on the new Legend of Zelda game, and it's going to be a sequel to Breath of the Wild. Oh, for fuck's sake. A sequel to Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild is not a bad game. Okay? I've got it up there. I've got the limited edition. I've got like 200 hours on my Switch. I got my Switch for Breath of the Wild, and I completed the game like 100%. Like, I played it non-stop for about 2 or 3 weeks. And then I had never played it since. And I don't want to. I'm not a fan of the open world for starters. I'm not a fan of the art style. Not a huge fan of the voice acting. Don't like that. The dungeons, what dungeons? The bosses, shit bosses. Quests, not as memorable. Not really. Even the characters, didn't really care about much of them. So the fact that the next Zelda game is going to be a Breath of the Wild sequel really, really upsets me, because I know now, much like the Dragon Quest Hero thing, the next Zelda game is Breath of the Wild 2 or whatever. So that means we're not getting a unique Zelda game on possibly. We might not get another unique Zelda game on the Switch, because normally most consoles end up having two Zelda games. Obviously, Breath of the Wild was the first one. This is going to be the second one. So unless the Switch lasts a long time, we're just going to have Breath of the Wild 1 and 2 on the Switch. We're not going to have a Majora's Mask, a new Majora's Mask, or a new Twilight Princess. And everyone's going to go, oh, you're only complaining because you weren't a fan of Breath of the Wild that much. That's true. That is true. That's fair. But Breath of the Wild came out in what, 2000? I'm not even going to look it up. But it only came out 2 years ago. But think how long it's been since Skyward Sword came out in 2010 or 11, I think. That's 7, 8 years old. Let's say Breath of the Wild 2, let's say that releases in 2022. That's another 3 years from now. Skyward Sword will be 11 years old. Let's say the next Zelda game after Breath of the Wild 2 takes another 4 or 5 years. That's what, 2025. Skyward Sword will be 16 years old at that point, and I tell you, I'm gonna lose my mind if they end up making Breath of the Wild like a whole trilogy. Please. Oh my god, I hope they don't do that. I really do hope they don't do that. But why they've decided to do a Breath of the Wild sequel really confuses me, because generally Zelda games don't get sequels, right? Okay. Zelda 1 and 2 are a sequel. 2 is a sequel to 1. There's not many direct sequels, okay? You could argue Majora's Mask is a sequel to Ocarina of Time. Only it's separate. You're in a separate world with a different story. And then there's the whole Wind Waker, Phantom Hourglass, Spirit Tracks. Again, not really direct sequels, because they're set in different worlds with different characters. Breath of the Wild 2, we're assuming, is the direct sequel, exactly the same characters in exactly the same world. And that's what disappoints me about it. And all the Zelda fans are going mad saying how amazing it's going to be. And as a Zelda fan myself, I just don't agree. I'm not looking forward to Breath of the Wild 2. Because I wanted another really unique, different Legend of Zelda game. That's what I look for every single time. I like a different Zelda game. I don't want the same thing again. Especially not when it's not... Breath of the Wild's not even in my top 5 favourite Zeldas. It didn't even make the top 5, and it's the most recent one. It didn't even grab a spot. It didn't. Okay? And as I said before, I'm not a fan of the open world. The voice acting, the dungeons were non-existent. The bosses weren't good at all. So if Breath of the Wild 2 is the same as the first one, that's not good. That's not good. Right. I think that's the majority of I think that's most of the Nintendo stuff out of the way. So, the Smash Bros. Reveal and the Breath of the Wild 2. Fire Emblem, I'm not really up on my Fire Emblem or Animal Crossing. I have sort of I've been curious about Animal Crossing, but I've never took the dive into it. People were complaining about the fact that it's coming out next year, but most of the fans are like, okay, fine, delay the game as long as it's amazing, which is understandable. Right, okay, so I'm now going to show you a quick separate video, and this is going to sort of explain what my next unpopular opinion is going to be about. And it's probably not unpopular, but it is a issue I have with the Microsoft conference. By the way, apologies if I sound a bit different. I think I'm either developing a cold or it's my hay fever playing up. So yeah, anyway, the video is going to be shown. Alright guys, I'm going to watch some Microsoft E3. Let's see what gets announced, shall we?
World premiere.
Wait, I know that music. And Sega, very first time. Oh my god. Fantasy Star Online 2. It's only been 7 years since the game came out in Japan. And we were meant to get it in 2017, 2012. What the fuck? Like, I can't believe it. It's fucking coming out. Cross-play. Wow, what? I just can't believe it. 7 years. You know, all the content. So all the content up to date. You know, 7 years worth of content. All the bosses. What? Can't believe it. But, you know, Xbox conference. Okay, it's a bit weird. But, you know, maybe they'll say something about it. You know, it's got to be more. Spring 2020, Xbox One and PC. Okay.
Those of you who have played Phantasy Star know that this game had influenced many of the most popular games today. So with great delight, we welcome Sega back to our stage and Phantasy Star back on Xbox. As we said, our goal on Team Xbox is to bring you the world's best games. Meeting with developers, playing their games, and introducing you to their games. These are the best parts of my job. Back at E3.
Okay. So, Fantasy Star Online 2 just got revealed. Let's see what Google says about Fantasy Star Online 2. What is the main website? Let's see if the main website says anything. Okay. Debuting in North America, spring 2020. Debuting in North America. North America. Now that you've seen the video, you're going to sort of understand where I'm coming from. So I'm going to explain it a bit more. Phantasy Star Online 2 got announced, or re-announced should I say, at the Xbox conference this year. What the fuck? 7 years later, and it gets announced at Microsoft conference of all things, and I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to happen. After 7 years, you wouldn't, because they said nothing on it. Sega went dead silent after pretty much 6 years. They just didn't say anything. And at the Microsoft conference, not what you expect, although there is probably reasons behind that, and it's obvious there are reasons behind that. Microsoft have clearly got some involvement with it. But here's the issues I take with it. For starters, 7 years too late at this point, or, a good 4 years too late. We've already had one version of the game literally start and close down. And secondly, I didn't pay attention to this when it was first revealed, but at the moment it's only confirmed for fucking North America. What? Only North America? You're gonna miss a whole continent out. If the game, people are gonna make American accounts to play it. I guarantee you, if there was no way for people outside of America to play it, there'd be no point releasing it in only America. Okay, for starters, it's an MMO. It's a Japanese MMO, and it's only releasing on an American console. Now, okay, there are Japanese game fans on Xbox. Definitely not as much as PlayStation. Microsoft clearly had a hand in making sure this game was going to see the light of day in the West. So it probably would never have happened if Microsoft didn't get involved, which is fair enough. But, as I said, the issue is they are really overestimating how popular this game's going to be on Xbox. They are. And yes, okay, you can play on PC as well. We're assuming. And it's cross-play, which is a bit weird. Well, obviously it's cross-play between Xbox and PC. That's obvious, but is it cross-play between the Japanese versions on the Switch and the PS4? Probably not. So that means we're just going to have the PC North American and the Xbox North American. There's probably not going to be that many people, or at least there might be at first, and it's going to die off quick. And I mean quick. Because it's an aging MMO to begin with. It's not really on the right console. Apparently they're only going to be releasing it in one country. So it's not really an MMO, is it? Massively online multiplayer for one country? No, not really. You're gonna. It's baffling that they didn't just say, Fantasy Star Online 2, Xbox and PC, and PlayStation 4. Well, they're not going to say PlayStation 4 at the press conference, but after, and PlayStation 4, worldwide release in the West, or Western release, so include America and Europe, 2020, whatever, May 2020. Who cares? And that would have solved the problem. There'd be no problem. All the Western fans be getting it. If whether they're on PlayStation or an Xbox or on PC, everyone gets to play it. The servers are a lot bigger. The game thrives a lot better. No problem. But no, they don't do any of that right, do they? They get it all wrong. And I mean wrong. And that's the annoying thing, especially after 7 years of waiting. It's just like, it's like they can't ever do it's like they always have, there always has to be a catch, there always has to be, it can never go right fully. Something always has to go wrong, they always have to make a silly decision, they can never just do the right thing all the way through. And it's so annoying. and it was like it was the biggest shock moment for me ever. I was up here with excitement, and then as the details started coming in, I started paying more attention. It was going down. Oh, it's not going to be. It might not be released in Europe. Oh, no information on Europe. Oh, it's only on Xbox and PC. Okay, it's on PC. No new information on Europe. Oh, it's a really old game, and it's releasing on consoles that are going to be, replaced in about a year. Okay, and at the moment, like, the excitement level's down here. It's off the camera. If they do announce it for Europe, we go up a bit. If it's later than the American release, if they're not releasing the game the same time as America, we're going back down again. There is no fair reason that the game is not going to get released the same time as America, especially when it's an online game, right? Because that's unfair. English speaking, we're all English. Well, no, we're not. Okay, we're not all English speaking, but America, obviously UK, we're English speaking, right? We should be playing the exact same version of the game. We don't need we don't need all the languages added for our version of well, we do, because obviously Europe has a lot of languages, but for the UK, you don't have to lump us in with the rest of Europe. We speak English. The same English that America adopted. Okay? That makes sense, okay? If you have to delay the French or the German or the Spanish or the Italian or the Greek or the Swedish version of the game, okay, fine. I get you have to do more voices, but in the UK, it's English. We speak the English, okay? So don't delay it for us. Okay, there is no logical reason for that I can think of. So don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Do not delay it. Do not make us wait even one day more than America. Don't even think about it. Seriously. Because honestly, people in Europe that are that feverish, they will literally just go play the American version. They will. They will go create an American account on their consoles, and they'll go download it and play like that. So you'd be wasting your time stopping us playing anyway. Look at the people playing the Japanese version of the game. Look how many lengths people will go through desperation to play the game, and that's even after all these years. So there you go. Let me try and think. Was there anything sort of unpopular opinions from E3? Honestly, it's probably been one of the worst E3s. There's been a couple of things here and there that are pretty cool. Obviously, with a lack of Sony. There you go. That's one of the three main companies didn't even show up. So obviously, that is gonna affect the overall quality of the event, obviously, because there's no way to fill the hole that's missing from Sony not being there, really. So yeah, that's unpopular opinions about E3. As always, thank you for watching. If I can think of more specific things, I might do different videos on it. If I can think of good topic to talk about with E3, the whole thing about Final Fantasy and all that. Honestly, that deserves to be a separate video. I'm not sure if I want to jump down that rabbit hole at the moment, because I'm in the minority, and by minority I mean I'm in the like 1% maybe on this. 99% of the fans are just blindsided by Final Fantasy VII Remake, and nothing is going to make them hear or see reason, at least not at the moment, especially while the hype's still high. But yeah, anyway guys, as always, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. So, see you later guys.